This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Hello, this is CNN Philippines The Boardroom. I'm Anthony Pangilinan in the heart of the Makati Business District, where buildings rise to your left, to your right, in front of you, and behind you. Real estate with passion. That is the mission and the vision of Century Properties. For over 30 years, it has strived to build communities for Filipinos to write and live their stories in. Jose E.B. is Century Properties founder and chairman. Century Properties is a real estate company focusing on high-rise and mid-rise residential condominiums and mixed-use developments. Motivated by the world's major achievers, Jose, or Jeba to most, sought to start his own real estate business. In 1986, he established Century Properties, just days prior to the EDSA People Power Revolution. What started as a small business with only 5 core staff has grown into a corporation employing over 3,000 individuals with marketing representatives in 5 countries and 6 international offices.
Anthony, welcome.
Antonio, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us here.
Lazy.
Yeah.
You just transported me outside of Manila or the Philippines. This is Signature Century.
Well, Milano is one of our buildings here in Century City. It has the Italian touch, as you can see all around you.
Versace specifically.
It's Versace, who was our collaborating designer for this building.
How can you pre-sell something like this? I mean, given the cost, I can't even buy one. What's it about your
You're
facility?
so modest. Okay? You're so modest.
Ubus na kasi. So why? What makes it so different from others?
Filipinos and also foreigners. We have a good 30% of our buyers are foreigners. They're not Filipinos. But when they recognize that the building is inspired or is based on an international standard, it becomes very easy for them to make a decision. And our prices are competitive with the market. And since we build our buildings ourselves, whatever we save there, we channel into more amenities and more design and higher speed.
So the efficiency
efficient
of having done it yourself, designed it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, can you show me some of these stuff in this building?
Let's do it.
Great, amazing.
So we're here in the pool deck. It's an area where the owners, our guests watching, will have a chance to have their drink. They have the dip in the pool. And
I noticed that these ones you say come from abroad, but you assemble it here.
all the labor to install it is Filipino craftsmanship. All of this is Filipino.
So you import some of these materials, and then you have local artisans to put it together.
Exactly.
Is there no way you can actually partner with a strong Filipino designer brand and have a building to his or her name, like Versace or Trump or...
In terms of design and architecture, we're always on the lookout. If we can spot anything, and I'm sure you know, we're open.
Wow,
we're
that'll
open.
be the day. That'll
Let
be a
us
great day.
help him
Amazing.
become a world-class performer.
But non-negotiable ang quality sa Century.
Quality.
You wanted to stress that earlier.
Yeah, quality is very important. For me, we always emphasize that. At the end of the day, we would like to have a customer that's happy, and we had hoped that we have exceeded his expectation.
Well, you've exceeded mine. So I'm looking forward to an even more in-depth discussion with you about what makes Century tick, the soul of Century, with you personally. Mr. Antonio, 30 years since you started this company. How would you describe the ride?
The ride has been exciting, and it was a roller coaster too.
But then you started at a low point. You started at one of the lowest points of our country's stability. While everybody was thinking of jumping ship, you were putting this company together. What did you have in mind then?
Well, I did not know what to expect. I just had to survive. I wanted to put a business in an industry that I believed in. And at that point, I did not know that it was 2 weeks before the People Power Revolution.
It was a difficult time. Did people call you crazy for doing something like this?
At that point, they called me brave.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a better
crazy,
term.
brave,
Courageous.
courageous. But looking back, I saw that the real estate industry at that point was full of opportunity.
And you saw that property would be a good
I saw
thing
that there
to
was
bet
a
on.
basic need for properties, for assets, etc. And I thought, we're great. We're a great nation. It's just we're waiting for the opportunity to uncap our potential. So one must have the tenacity to survive.
How would you describe the first five years? The
First 5 years were actually very tumultuous, up and down, because as you know, 86 was People Power Revolution, and in 1989 there was a military coup d'etat. So we were doing projects outside Manila, and then there was a coup in Camp Crame. So really, we were tested. We were battle tested.
And yet, when you set it up, Century had nothing to do with the fact that you worked in Century 21 in the States.
I didn't work at Century 21. I observed what they were doing, and when I incorporated this company, I thought, what would be a name that is suitable for the objective of having a long-term.
Precisely.
business.
It was a difficult time, but you're already thinking long-term. Was this the same mindset of the 5 other people that were with you when you set this up?
No, the other 5 people were just looking for jobs at the time. But we had the chemistry to be, we like each
Low
other.
maintenance, low expectation.
Yeah, it was just survival. And at that point, looking back, all the major conglomerates were not conglomerates. They were in one product companies. And ownership at that time were changing.
What would you say were and are the foundations of Century through the years that makes it stable and still growing at this time, 30 years after?
I think, modesty aside, it's our passion for our business, our passion to produce good products that contaminates a lot of people to join us and also to partner with us. It is our passion to produce good projects. And beyond projects right now, we are spending a lot of time in giving a customer experience that is unique.
Jose Antonio and Century Properties have been dubbed as industry game changers. Find out how they earned this title when we return. This is The Boardroom. In 30 years, Century Properties surpassed many obstacles, thereby making them one of the most successful property development companies in the country. What were the governing philosophies that led to this resiliency and will bring them to the brighter future? What would you say was a defining moment at the start? How did you know that you were on the right track? How did you know that this is it, we've got it? It's in the bag. This is...
At that point, I couldn't say it was in the bag. I mean, there was still a lot of trial. But our strength, I feel, is the fact that we know our market very well. So their first project consisted only of 52 units. So at that point, I had in my mind, I already had 20 buyers. So 40% of the projects was pre-sold. So said, let's take the gamble, let's do it. So our mindset in anything we do is that we should know our client, we should know our customer. If we know our customer, what their needs, aspirations are, I think we're in a good status.
You have been credited, let's go to the fact that you are known as a game changer. Why would you say, does the industry look upon you in Century as a game changer in the industry and in this country?
Pardon the use of the word disrupt. We disrupt the traditional way of doing things.
That's okay, that's fine.
We also try to disrupt what has been previously known as a success. we always try to think what we can give the buyer, the customer, what else can we give him to make him happier, or what values can we add to the product that will make him fully satisfied. So we run through the process whenever we launch a new project of really identifying, the word is KYC, know your customer, okay?
Right.
Know your customer, what are his aspirations, etc., etc., etc. The Philippine real estate industry, by all means, is actually following what other modern societies have done. We just follow what is successful abroad, and in time, we will catch up to that kind of aspiration, that kind of ideals, that kind of standard, and we implement that. Now, certain companies don't like to take that risk. We always try to take that calculated risk of defining a new product.
What is calculated risk for you, Mr. Antonio?
Calculated risk to us means that there is no certainty in the final outcome, but the rewards more than equal the uncertainty if attained. Yeah.
From 6 to 3,000 plus, what is the key to managing and leading such a huge number of people?
I think leadership starts with leading oneself, leading others, leading a team, and leading change. I think we live in a very interesting time of our lives where not only change is happening, both in the economy, in the way things are done, there should be transformation. It's not change for change itself. I mean, changing from a suit to barong is change. But transforming it, whether it's a company or a nation, it's transforming it to where you want to bring it. And that's the challenge.
The whole idea of getting all these designer brands, names, the Hiltons and the Trumps, was this yours? Was this a dream one night? Gut feel, or did you have to go through a process of identifying that this would be a right direction?
Well, the first signature personality that we got involved, his name is I.M. Pei.
Yes.
One of the greatest living architects. He's still alive at 96. He inspired me, and his work will stand the test of time. So I said, why don't we try getting an architect of this note, which we did when we did Ascens at the fort. That even was a big gamble. First, because fort was just greenfield. We were the first building to turn over the fort, and people were saying, you are crazy. So that started our quest to partner with the best in the world in whatever they're doing. All the other names were actually leaders in their own fields, in design, in entertainment, in architecture.
This passion for partnering with people, mostly foreigners, how does this connect to your philosophy that the Filipinos are best in what they do?
Understandably, the Filipinos are behind all of these projects. Filipinos are great people. I mean, it's just a matter of time when we, as we are witnessing now, we're winning a lot of international awards, and this will continue. But we're a young country compared to the others.
But you've been committed to this ever since the beginning, to bring the best in the Filipino
Our
to the rest of the
commitment
world.
to bring the best is based on my personal philosophy of best practice. Whoever is best in that field, let's talk to him, let's talk to them, and see what we can learn. I always presume that I don't know anything when I enter a new project. Tell me, teach me, and then let's learn. Then we connect that to our local aspiration and our local needs, and that's what we do.
You speak about learning from the best abroad and then harnessing the greatness of the Filipino. How would you define the management philosophy of Mr. Antonio?
It's passion and purpose. I think if people put passion in their work, it will contaminate not only your staff, it will contaminate the public, your customers, because it will
infect like a virus.
And it will show. It will show in the product that you have some flavor, you have spice in it. When you go to a restaurant that's normal, you are a commodity.
And in the world today, you must be distinct.
You must be distinct, you must be different, you must be defined by something else aside from being a commodity.
In the field that you are particularly in, condominiums at the moment, there's a lot of of talk about how there's so much already available in the market. When will it stop? Are there enough demands to fill all these supply?
Well, real estate, the industry of real estate is huge, but there are so many subclasses. Century Properties right now is involved in expanding its product mix.
Diversifying.
We're diversifying not only in terms of products, we're diversifying location. We now have a project in Pampanga. Soon we will announce projects in other areas because the demand for homes or demand for other real estate product is not confined to Metro Manila, although the city is the biggest contributor to our growth.
Find out what Jose Antonio did to build his empire and what he intends to do to continually transform the Manila skyline. This is The Boardroom. In real estate, you have to be innovative and you have to foresee the needs and wants of a new breed of condo dwellers, something Jose Antonio can clearly do. What is your vision for the condominium of the future, the building of the future?
The building of the future in terms of physical attributes will be a green building that will be energy efficient, that will have its rooftop with a lot of green, that will use water that will be recycled, to gray water that will use for cleaning, etc., etc. So we have a checklist of all of this. And this is the trend right now. And to use power that is sustainable, etc., etc.
And Century is committed to deliver the building of the future.
We are committed to doing this, and not only as a building, but in terms of the whole development.
Would you say that the Filipino culture values have changed? Dati po kailangan may lupa at bahay ako. Ngayon po ay may titulo lang sa condominium. Would you say that you were partly involved perhaps in the transformation of that culture?
Well, I wouldn't say we contributed a lot. We were participating in that process. If you analyze actually our expats, Filipino expats, our OFW, before they used to save money and send money to the Philippines and give it to their relatives. And that was the end of it. They never saw the fruits of those labor. That's why they shifted to real estate, because it was a hard asset that they can see.
Well, gadgets is still a competitor of...
No, for gadgets actually is the first priority of them. Gadgets, cars, and all that. There's the first priority. But after I would say, soft assets, they look at hard assets for a lifetime investment.
What has been the biggest challenge to you in 30 years? Running this business, balancing life?
The challenge is actually knowing and predicting the future demand. The aspirations have changed, the needs have changed, the competitive landscape has increased, but the Philippines is in a good spot to be able to be one of the leaders in Southeast Asia, which has a footprint of 600 million people. We have the language, we have the culture, we have the practice, we have the platform on which we can expand. So I see even our company expanding within the Southeast Asia region.
In terms of preparing the organization for the future, yes, your children are involved, but without any doubt, you have been the main man behind this organization. You have been the soul. How do you transfer soul? Have you made plans? Is there a process by which a father will pass it on to his children? You can teach us so we can learn from you.
It's a work in progress. That's number one. Number two, we have our own family constitution, which governs all of our rules of...
And how is that drawn up?
It's drawn up by the help of some professionals who are very good at it. So they helped us draw up the family constitution. So it's like a rules engine. What you can do, what you do, how do you get compensated, what is your role? You're either a stockholder, a manager, or both, etc., etc., etc. So,
do you see yourself moving to a new role, perhaps, in the coming years? an invisible customer visiting your sites to make sure that things are being delivered as committed?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because the other day I made a surprise inspection of one of the projects.
Mystery shopper here.
Mystery shopper, mystery visitor, but I'm very particular about customer experience. So if we're not doing well in certain areas, I call their attention. I'm there to guide them. There's a lot of knowledge in the organization, but what I hope to contribute is the wisdom that I've learned through the years.
Legacy. A lot of people talk about legacy. Is that something that you keep in mind? Is that something that you're planning for?
It's not a conscious thing, but if we do good, I think that this is our legacy to our community. If we do landmark projects, that's our legacy to our country, and we will continue to do that.
What else do you think must Century accomplish in the next few years, that will really show that its vision has been attained, or at least we're closer to the vision?
We should continue to develop game-changing and disruptive products that are attuned to
Still not create trouble, sir, huh?
yeah, attuned to the needs of the new needs of our population.
Studies have shown that successful entrepreneurs and professionals, from ready, aim, fire, go through a process of transformation. It becomes ready, aim a little more, aim one more time. Why don't we pray about the aim? They never start firing. But in your case, it seems like even at this time, it's still disrupting. You're still game-changing. How do you keep that energy, that inspiration?
Well, we know from recent history that the rules of the game are changing every year, every season. IT has changed the way people live. IT has changed the way people do business. And if you don't adapt to this, then you will fall by the wayside. So we adapt. It's not ready, aim, fire. It's ready, aim, fire, fire again until you get it right.
And what was to you, is to you, the most unforgettable, most joyful experience or moment as CEO of Century?
Oh, every day is a joyful moment.
Oh, that's a nice perspective.
Yeah, every day is a joyful moment. I look forward to working every day because I think the day is full of successes and some challenges, but even small successes are successes.
What part of the day? One example of a joyful moment in the day that keeps you going?
Well, an unannounced visit from a foreigner who bought a unit and was very happy. He gives me a small gift just to show his appreciation for the good service and the good product that they got. To me, that's unquantifiable.
Or a pre-announced visit by CNN to hear his story.
Pre-announced is an honor to have CNN anytime.
Well, this was provided by you, that 2%, only 2% of companies in this country, shown by SEC documents, survive past 25 years. It's been 30. What is the one thing that has kept you going and one thing that will keep you growing?
I think it's my passion. It's my love for business and my love for challenges and creating a new product, a new experience, a new town, a new building, etc. By nature, I want to build. I want to build, whether it's a new concept or a new product and a new value creation. I continue to be in that constant quest.
Don't you owe it to the world to have Century's stamp of
Few projects abroad, and I think they're marvelous projects we did, but right now our resources are tied up to the Philippines because we're quite busy here.
This is our priority.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity, Mr. Antonio. It's been an honor for me as well to get to know where you came from, where you are, and the great vision of where you're going.
Thank you very much too for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We end with this quote: ready, aim, fire, and fire, and fire until you hit it right. Join me again next week as we engage with some of the country's top business leaders, innovators, and executives. I'm Anthony Pangilinan, and this is The Boardroom.